Today, let Proverbs 13 speak directly to your heart. In this devotional video, we're looking at Proverbs chapter 13. Let's dive right in. In verse 1, it says that a wise son listens to his father's teachings. But someone who is stubborn and doesn't listen won't take advice from others, no matter how valuable. Now let's look at verse 2. A person who eats good things because of the words they speak will be blessed by their mouth. However, people who break rules end up suffering. In verse 3, it tells us to treasure our words and guard what we say. Keeping your lips sealed can save you from serious consequences. But if you keep talking a lot, bad things can happen to you. Verse 4 says that someone who is lazy won't get enough food because they never search for opportunities. But the person who works hard will always have plenty of sustenance and joy. Moving on to verse 5, it states that people who are righteous don't find pleasure in lies, but those who lie often are considered to be shameful. They deserve shame for their actions. In verse 6, we learn that staying true to the right path keeps you safe from harm, whereas sinners fall into destruction because of their choices. Then there's a bit about wealth and how it can either come or go. Some people who have everything still have nothing, but others with less work hard for more riches. Verse 8 talks about how we gain life through effort. But the fool only gets what they deserve, like when you get punished for not listening to your parents. In verse 9, we see that satisfaction comes from having a wise heart. A righteous person rejoices because of their understanding, while an evil man's light goes out when he's wrong. Verse 10 mentions how pride often leads to conflict, but humility brings wisdom and understanding. Now let's touch on the idea of wealth and poverty. Riches can be diminished if you rely too much on them, but hard work always pays off in the end. Verses 12 and 13 talk about hope and consequences. If your desire is deferred, it can break your heart like a bitter pill. But when your desires come true, life becomes sweet as a tree of health. Verse 14 says that wisdom comes from obeying God's laws, but foolishness results in disaster because they ignore His instructions. In verse 15, good understanding and discernment bring favor to people, while stubbornness leads them astray. Verses 16 and 17 explain that wise men make choices based on their knowledge, whereas fools act without any thought. The one who listens to instruction is rewarded by God, but those who refuse it are in trouble. Verse 18 highlights how ignoring guidance can lead to ruin, but listening and learning brings about health and prosperity. Now, verse 19 states something quite beautiful. The fulfillment of our desires gives us happiness, while greediness is a bitter pill for people lacking understanding. Verses 20 through 21 touch on what it means to walk with wise people or foolish ones. Good company leads you down good paths, but bad friends lead you astray. And in verse 22 and 23, we see that hard work can pay off big time, either by leaving behind a legacy of success for your children or simply finding enough food to eat. Verse 24 teaches us about parenting and discipline. Loving guidance is beneficial when given at the right time, while withholding it might cause harm. Finally, in verse 25, we learn that good nourishment comes from working hard. And there's also a reminder of how much we have compared to those who don't understand or value what they are meant to do. So let's be wise and diligent, always seeking wisdom and guidance. May God bless us with His goodness in all things. Proverbs 13 does not promise a life without danger. It promises a God who quietly keeps watch morning and night over the ordinary comings and goings of your day. Today, hand over what you cannot watch over yourself. God is already keeping it. Lord, keeper of my life, watch over my going out and my coming in today. Amen. Follow Psalms Faith Studio.